Everybody, it's EK from EK Gorman Designs, and I am coming back with another 5 Fast Cards. This is the third part in my 3-part series, showcasing the seriously caffeinated card making and craft kit from White Rose Crafts. I've got 5 cards plus a bonus card for you today. If you've missed the unboxing or first 2 parts of this series, I'll make sure to link them up in the corner. Card 1, super simple, super fast, key to everything, the stickers that are included in this seriously caffeinated card making kit. I added a piece of scrap paper. At this point, all my 6x6 pieces of paper are basically scrap. But I trimmed up a piece of scrap paper to act as a banner, pulled a couple of the ribbon stickers, added a sentiment, and then decided at the last minute I wanted to add the coffee run banner, and it wouldn't fit with my other banners, so I just added it to the top. I felt the card needed a little bling, so I pulled out the rhinestones from the kit. And that's it. Super quick, super easy, but really fun little coffee card. Card 2 uses one of the card frames from the kit and some serious paper piecing. What I did here is take a rectangle cut of cardstock and then trimmed it on both of the diagonals so it would have this fun X in the middle when I got all done. I also pulled out a piece of the ephemera. The paper in the kit and the ephemera in the kit are coordinating sets from Echo Park, so I really like how beautifully, of course, they coordinate together. But I adhered on the printed paper, leaving a nice big brown X in the middle of the card frame. And then I had a thought to break up the card a little bit with the washi tape, but it just didn't look right. But I added a little bit of dimensional tape to that piece of ephemera and adhered it onto the card frame to make a really kind of fun card. Now this card comes with a coordinated envelope, and I don't want to leave my envelope naked, so I just pulled off one of the stickers from the set and finished off the card. Card 3 uses my favorite print from the paper pack. I don't know why this print speaks so much to me, but I really, really like it. There's something about the large print. I actually wish I could find it in wallpaper. I would totally do an accent wall in it. So I've adhered down the printed paper and then taken a piece of cardstock that's trimmed up and added washi tape to the edge of it. I wanted the washi tape to be like a table. So I inked up the white paper and the washi tape with some of the included ink in the kit, adhered it to the card frame, and then pulled this lovely little cake platter and set it on my quote-unquote table. Finally, I added the coffee mug with the sentiment and a couple bling rhinestones to finish card 3. I love how when you've got coordinating stickers and ephemera and paper, card making just really makes itself. For card 4, I pulled out a piece of black cardstock from my personal stash and added it to an A2 card frame. And then I trimmed up the repeating coffee mug paper and adhered it to the black paper so there was a nice border to it. Finally, I took the piece of white cardstock from my stash and stamped the included stamp set from Picket Fence onto the white cardstock. Now, I really want to stress this is white cardstock. This is the same kind of cardstock that I made my card frame from. But I'm using a waterproof ink. I'm using a waterproof ink, and I'm going to pull out my Distress inks, believe it or not. I like to, when I'm going to watercolor this image, but again, I'm using just cardstock, so the ink doesn't actually move well. And I did this intentionally to show that you could still add distressed inks in a watercolor manner and have an interesting effect. Now, you're not going to be able to move the color around, and you have to be careful how much water you use, but you still get some really pretty effects, and you can really load the color up on top of what you already colored without fear of it moving. Like, if I'm using watercolor paper, I'd have to dry my image before I could really load the color up without fear of it moving over and over. So it's a challenge because the paper doesn't give way, but I really like playing around sometimes with different ways to use my mediums. And watercoloring on cardstock is a fun way to kind of push my distress inks. I did realize once I added the tea stain, and the tea stain for me was the right color to use for the carrier, but suddenly that orange card and the tea stain carrier, I'm sorry, not orange card, orange cup and the tea stain carrier blended too much, nor did the orange cup really match the colors in the printed paper. I had actually tried to make each of these cups a color that was on the printed cardstock. So I pulled out a little bit of worn lipstick and just hit up the image with pink, fussy cut out the image, and then added it to the card frame with some dimensional tape. I really like this square dimensional tape that I'm using here because it pops up really, really high, making the cards really stand out. I wanted to add a sentiment to the card, but I knew I was never going to be able to stamp on top of the printed paper and have it be seen, so I pulled out a trimmed banner, added the sentiment from the picket fence stamp set included in the kit, and adhered it over the edge, letting the tail hang off, and I just trimmed it up so that it finished off. I realized I had a little bit of blank space I wanted to finish, so the bling got added, and there you go. There's your card, and I love how close I think I matched the colors of the cards onto my quote-unquote watercolor. Card 5, I'm going back to some paper piecing, and I used a bit of brown cardstock for my personal stash and trimmed up a rectangle of printed paper so I could create a window effect. But it would, if you pushed everything together, you could still see how it is connected. Like the pattern continues properly despite the window effect. I adhered down the cardstock to my card frame and added the banner across the middle to help break up what felt like a window to me. Finally, I added a sticker. It's my favorite sentiment on the sticker sheet. I will drink coffee here or there. I will drink coffee anywhere. So there you go. Those are the 5 fast cards I created, but I've got a bonus card for you today. If you caught my cards, my second part of this series, I had a big pink card that really got away from me, but it upset me because I knew something was there, the technique was there, the idea was there, but the card just got away from me. What I'd done on the big pink card that failed was I'd pushed the ink through the stencil, just like I'm doing now, but I'd done the whole image, and it was just, my surface I was working on was not big enough to do the whole image. So I'm trying the technique again, but this time just using the curly cues of the steam coming out of the coffee and repeatedly inking through my stencil onto my card frame. And this time, I really think it worked. Where it got away from me last time, this time the repeating continuous pattern I think is very effective. And now the card frame looks like one of those kind of distressed, where the image aren't crisp and clean. I like it. I love this color green. This is my favorite shade of green. And to have it so boldly onto the background I think is fun. So I finished inking up the card frame and then cleaned up my space because yes, I had pigment ink all over my desk. Pulled back the washi tape and went ahead and inked the whole image onto the envelope because you don't want to leave your envelope naked. And like I said, I really think it's a fun effect to use the stencil and push ink through it in that way, but I wasn't going to be able to finish the card I wanted to. So I liked the way the curly cubes worked. I pulled out a green Kelly Creates pen to really outline the piece of ephemera sentiment that I have so that it really grounds the sentiment into the card frame and doesn't float away. I think it worked. I wish it had more of a deep olive green, but it worked. I found some cups on my sticker sheet and added them to the card since it says get the big cup or get the large cups, and a couple blings. I realized my patterns lined up too closely, so I switched my stickers in the end. And there you go, as a bonus card for you today. The kit is a limited edition kit from White Rose Crafts, so make sure you pick yours up before they're all gone. And make sure you let me know in the comments below which of these 5 or bonus card is your favorite from my 5 fast cards today. Until then, happy crafting everyone!